In this lesson, we will learn how to find the greater and lesser numbers using the greater than and lesser than symbols. You know where I got the symbol from? For that, I have to tell you a story. It's a beautiful day in the green forest, with birds and animals enjoying their day playing. And in the two beautiful ponds, the fish kept jumping up to see what's around. There were two clever monkeys hanging on the tree branches, watching the fish popping up from the water. They got into an argument over which of the two ponds had a greater number of fish in them. The fish kept coming up in both ponds, and the monkeys were confused. Just then, they saw Mr. Alligator walk in from the woods. He was very hungry. He stood by the ponds to see which of the ponds had more fish. He wanted a big meal, so he wanted to get into the pond with a greater number of fish. The fish started to pop up in both the ponds. The hungry alligator turned to eat from the pond which had a greater number of fish. The clever monkeys then realized that the big alligator mouth always turned to the greater number of fish. Watch the alligator turning towards the pond which has greater number of fish. And thus we got the symbol from the alligator's mouth. The wide open alligator's mouth always eats the bigger number. So when we have two numbers, we can easily find the bigger or greater number by comparing the two numbers and drawing the wide open alligator mouth towards the bigger number. Now, let's compare these fruit baskets. It is obvious that the basket on the right side is the basket with more number of fruits, and the basket on the left side has much lesser number of fruits. And so, the wide open alligator mouth would be towards the larger number. And notice that the narrow pointed side is always towards the smaller number. Look at these chandeliers. The one on the left has more number of lights. We can even count and write down the numbers. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, let's count the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4. We know that the alligator mouth always wants to eat the greater number. So we draw the symbol this way. The wide mouth towards the larger number and the narrow side towards the smaller number. Great! Now, let's confuse the alligator. What happens when both sides have the same number? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lights on the left side and 4 lights on the right side. They are the same, right? We know that the alligator mouth can eat only the greater number. But here, both the numbers are the same. They are equal. So, the alligator mouth changes shape. The narrow side opens and becomes equal. Let's see another example. Look at these pictures and find out which one has more number of vehicles. there are 5 cars and there are 5 boats. Again, we know the alligator mouth only ate greater numbers, but these numbers are equal, and so the alligator mouth changes shape and becomes equal, like that. So, what did we learn today? We learned about the alligator mouth, which can mean greater than or lesser than. And we also learned about the equal sign. Great. We will look into more examples on greater than or lesser than in our next lesson.